Starting the second problem for today, and this is the sixth problem in a PDF which we have shared. Last class we solved with the square prisms. Okay, we have solved with the square prism, and today we will be solving with the pentagon. Okay, this is a pentagon prism. Okay, so it has 5 sides. Okay, and 5 corners. So based on the pentagon prism, we'll be solving problems on today. The problem goes like this: a pentagon prism whose side is 25 mm of base. So there's a base. Okay, this is a base. The base side he has given us 25, 25, 25, 25, 25. Okay, and axis. The meaning of axis is height. I told you in the last class. See this height. Okay, the total height of the prism he has given you as how much? 60. It is resting on HP. So it has to rest on HP either in two conditions. Either it will be with respect to the corner. With respect to corner, it will be resting, or with respect to this entire edge, it will be resting on HP. Okay, it is resting on HP with one of its base edge. Okay, with one of its base edge. That is your first condition. So any solids in any solids will be having 3 conditions. The first conditions, you will be placing it on HP. Then the second condition, with respect to HP, you will start inclining it. And the third condition, with respect to VP, you will incline like this. Okay, so it will be first condition like this. Second condition, you will incline with respect to VP, HP, then with respect to VP. Okay, so the first condition is this. Second condition he has given is draw the projections of the prism when axis is inclined. See, this word is very important. Remember this word. Axis is inclined. So whenever you come across this word, that means in this problem we are supposed to find out an apparent inclination problem. So that means apparent inclination. This is based on the apparent inclination. So we'll be getting a beta angle. Okay. So draw the projections of the prism when the axis is inclined to HP at an angle of 40. Okay, and the same axis is inclined to VP at an angle of 30. Okay, that will be a final condition. Okay, after reading this problem, so you make these 3 conditions which he has given you. Okay, it is a prism. Pentagon prism is placed on HP. What is the condition? On base edge. And after that, it is inclined to HP. Axis is inclined at an angle of 40. Again, it is inclined to VP, which was axis. The previous problem which we had done, the third condition was it was inclined with respect to edge. Here we are inclining with respect to axis at an angle of 30 degrees. Okay, we'll start solving it. What is the side of the prism? Pentagon prism. The side of the pentagon prism which he has given you as this length is how much? 25. Fine. This length is 25. Okay, I'll draw the top view. So it will be kept like this. Okay, let your edge be towards your right side. Okay, I'm repeating this. It is an edge condition. Let the edge be towards your right side. So this is your edge. Okay, and this corner will be towards your left side. Fine. So in the second condition, it will be easy for us to incline this prism with respect to the edge. That is what he has given you. You have to incline with respect, you have to place it with respect to the edge, and you're supposed to incline with respect to edge only. Okay. So that is why I kept it on HP with respect to one of the edge. Then later with respect to this edge, okay, you can see in the bottom with respect to this edge, I'll start inclining it. I'll draw the pentagon prism. Okay, the top view first is you keep it on HP. That is what he has told. So when you look from the top, what you can see this pentagon. Okay, I'll draw the top view. It is resting with respect to the edge. The side is 25 mm. There is 2.5 box. And what is the interior angle? It is 72. Rotate your page and draw the pentagon. Okay, so the angle is 72. Similarly, this side on the other corner, measure 72. and complete the pentagon. The side is 2.5. Complete the pentagon, taking an angle of how much? 72. And the base length which he has given you is 25. I'm completing the top view. This is the first condition. Fine. It looks like this. Okay. The first condition is a pentagon prism is placed on HP with respect to one of the edge. Okay. So this is how it looks like. Okay. This is what in the top view I have drawn it. Fine. After drawing the top view, mark the points and find the midpoint of this. We need the axis. The axis will pass to the midpoint. So we need the midpoint of this. Okay. How do we find the midpoint? From one of the corner, say from this corner to the opposite midpoint, you'll be dropping a line, thin line. Fine. And you got the midpoint of this edge. Measure that midpoint. Okay, it will be half of 25. So you can cut on any other side. So I'll start cutting in this side. So again, the same procedure from this corner to the opposite midpoint. It should be a thin line. You will get the midpoint of this pentagon. Fine. You found out this midpoint of the pentagon. This is corner to the opposite midpoint. You'll be drawing a line. Again this corner to the opposite midpoint, opposite side midpoint will be drawing line, and you get the midpoint. Now show the dimensions. In this case, you're supposed to show the dimension. What is the dimension length? It is 25. Okay, so show 25 on this side. See here, these two lines which I have drawn, okay, it should be perpendicular to this, and the gap should be half mm. And with the help of arrow mark, mention this. Okay, the side is 25. Okay, don't show the dimensions here because you'll be getting the projection lines. Fine. After that, we are supposed to mark the points. In the last class, I told you how to mark the points. Okay, I'll keep like this. In the top view, I'll keep the pentagon. Okay, if this is O, you can start in clockwise direction. We'll start from here. Let this be A, B, C, D, and E. Okay, I'm repeating this. Let this be A, B, C, D, E. In the top view, you can see A, B, C, D, E. Okay, I'll start marking it. Let this be point A, B, C, D, and E. Okay, so now, so when you look from the top view, only this portion is visible for you. What about the base? The base is not visible for the observer. So if this is the point, this is the point A. So what will be this point? A1. This is your point B. Okay, this point will be B1. Okay, this will be a point C, and this point will be a C1, D, D1, and E, E1. Okay, this is a longer edge. Fine. So when you're looking from the top, A, B, C, D is visible, whereas A1, B1, C1, D1, and E1 is not visible for the observer. That is why what I'll be writing this as A1 in bracket, B1, C1, D1, and E1. You're trying to understand? So this is A1, B, B1, C, C1. That is what I've written. You can see A, B, C, D, but you cannot see A1, B1, C1, D1. That is why we have written it on bracket. Okay, so this will be A1, B1, C1, D1. Okay, now the top view is finished. We will project the front view. See, when you look this prism in the top, you can see like this. The same thing when you look it from the front. So if you place it like this is your front view. Okay, this is your front view. So that means you can see a rectangle box, and this edge also you can see. 1, 2, 3. 3 edges is visible for the observer in the front view. Front view looks like this. Okay. So for that, what you will do, you just have to extend the lines. That's all. So draw the projection lines. Draw the projection lines from 3 corners. What is the axis length? The axis length he has given you as 60. That is nothing but height of the pentagon he has given you as 60. Okay, that means 6 boxes from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 boxes. Again, from this point, it will be 6 boxes. That is the height which he has given you. Again, from this point, it will be 6 boxes. And complete the front view. So I'm repeating it. The top view, you got a pentagon. Okay, you got the top view, you got a pentagon. Okay, the front view, the same object, when you rotate like this and when you place it, you can see 3 edges, 1, 2, and 3. This will be the front view. Okay, so the same object, when you started looking from the top, this is what it looks like. But when the front view, it looks like this. Okay, so here in the vertical plane, you know that, as you know that in the vertical plane, this will be a vertical plane. Okay, and this is your horizontal plane, XY line. Okay, in the vertical plane, you can see the front view of the object. In the horizontal plane, you can see the top view of the object. Okay, this is the front view. The front view looks like this. Okay, so now one more point we have missed it here. So that is nothing but your axis. Okay, you are supposed to extend the axis also from the, and we have not mentioned this point. Let this be O and O1. O1 will be in bracket. So it is this one. O, okay, in the bottom we have O1. That is nothing but your axis. O is visible in the top view. O1 is not visible in the top view. That is why I've written O1 in the bracket. So now I have to show the axis in the front view also. What I'll do is I'll extend the axis line till your XY line. It should be a thin line. Okay, this is your thin line. After it enters the front view, it will become an axis. Axis, I told you how to draw it. It should be a chain line, 3:1, 3:1, 3:1, 3:1, and 3:1. So it should be a axis should be a chain line at its 3:1 ratio, and it should be a thin line. Okay, remember it should be a thin line. Now you should mark the points in the front view. How do you mark it? This was your top view. Okay, we are done with the top view. Now the front view, you rotate the object like this. In this condition, you will be marking the points. Observe carefully. The observer will be standing here. Okay, you will be standing here. When you stand here, the point A, the point E, and the point D is visible for you. That is nothing but this edge, A dash, A1 dash, that is this one, A dash, A1 dash, and this is E dash, E1 dash, D dash, and D1 dash is visible for you. Whereas there are 2 edges, the longer edge, this edge and this edge, it is not visible for you. So that is why what we'll be doing, that we'll be writing in the bracket. Okay, the top view is finished. The front view will look like this. It looks like this. So that is nothing but which are the points. That means you'll be standing here. When you're standing here, when you look at these 3 points, A is visible, E is visible, and D is visible. Okay, so what will happen? This will be my A dash, and here it will be A1 dash. Okay, so that is this one. And this is your E dash and E1 dash. And what is this point? This point is your D. This point is your D dash and D1 dash. And behind this was D dash and D1 dash. Okay, behind that we have C. So which is not visible for the observer, it will be C dash. Again, it will be C1 dash at the bottom. And we have not finished with another point. Here we have E dash and E1 dash. Behind this, exactly behind this, we have this edge. So that is nothing but which is that point B, the longer edge B. Okay, B dash, in bracket and B1 dash in bracket, it is not visible for the observer. And what about the axis? We forgot the axis. That is nothing but your O and O1. That also it is not visible for the observer. When I place it like this, okay, you can see only this and this and this. Three edges you can see, but the axis cannot be seen. Okay, the axis pass like this. We cannot see. So this, what will happen to the axis? This will be O dash in bracket, and this will be O1 dash in bracket. Okay, you understanding? Now, what is the length, height of that? We have to mention the height also. Okay, the dimensions, we are not sure the dimensions here. Exactly half mm to extend the dimension extension line. Okay, we call this as a dimension extension line. Let it be half mm and join it and show this length as how much? 60. See, you can draw it inside. Okay, I have drawn it outside. But what is the second condition? The second condition what he has given you is draw the projections of the prism when the axis is inclined to HP. Okay, that means we are supposed to take this object, we are placed on HP with respect to one of the edge, and we are supposed to incline with respect to HP. Okay, so the second condition is this object, you're supposed to start inclining it. And what is the axis inclination? Axis inclination he has given you as 40. In the previous class, I told you, how do you find out the base inclination? This was your first condition. And we have a pentagon here. Okay, and we had an axis here. In the second condition, this object has to be rotated at an angle of how much? 40 degrees. That means the second condition, you'll be getting it like this. This is what you're supposed to draw in the second condition, where the axis, this angle should be 40 degrees. Okay, this angle should be 40 degrees. Okay, see this axis you cannot draw directly. For that, what we'll do is, if the axis is inclined at 40 degrees, then what will be the inclination of the base? What will be this inclination? You'll be finding out. As you know that this will be angle of 90 degrees. So this will be 90 degrees. He has given this as 40 degrees. What is the remaining angle? This will be 50. Okay, in every problem, you're supposed to find out this. You cannot draw the axis directly. So that is why what we'll do, what is the base inclination? We'll calculate. How much you got? You got 50. Okay, now I'll start inclining the base first. I'll start inclining the base. The object was kept with respect to the one of the edge. Now I'll start inclining it. Okay, so the axis will come like this. So imagine this is your pencil. So the axis will come like this. Okay, we cannot draw the axis. I'm drawing the base, which we have found out at an angle of 50 degrees. So first you draw the base. Keep your protractor somewhere here. Measure the length. What is the base inclination? The base inclination should be 50. The base inclination should be 50. Okay, so this angle is 50. Measure the base length. What is the base length? Okay, and from this point, cut an arc. Okay, this was the base. The base having inclined at an angle of 50 degrees, and you are supposed to cut two more points also. We need this point. Okay, that is nothing but the edge E1 dash we need, and the point also we need. Okay, what I'll do is I'll measure this length also. That is the edge E dash and E1 dash edge, the cut an arc, and we need the axis also. I'll measure this length. Okay, and this is my point where the axis starts. Darken this. You're drawn the base. Okay, then how do you transfer the entire solid? It's very simple. You measure the longer edge, one of the longer edge length. That is yours, how much? 60. From the one of the corner, cut an arc of 60. Fine. Again, from the other corner, you cut an arc of height 60. Okay, so after that, you'll be taking the diagonal. So first I took the height, okay, and I cut two arcs. Again, I'll be taking the diagonal length, okay, and I'll be taking the diagonal. Both the diagonal length will be same. You can see here. Now opposite, I'll be cutting it opposite. Fine. So now you got it. So just remember this rectangle box, I'm inclining it an angle of 40 has given you. Okay. Join it and complete the rectangle box. There's a bit change in the dimensions. Once again, I'll check it. So this is a longer edge. From one point, I've cut an arc. Again, from the same point, I've cut an arc. Again, I have taken the cross diagonal lengths. So both the diagonal lengths will be same. After that, you just have to transfer the axis also. Okay, this is my axis. Okay, the axis points also you just transfer it. And one of the edge point also you just transfer it. And join it. This was your axis. This is your edge. The second one, you have the axis. Axis should be a thin line. And extend it back. See, when you're extending it, okay, so this line should be thin. Axis belongs only to the solid. Okay, when you're extending it, it should be thin. And you can measure this angle. This will be 40. And if you measure this angle, okay, this angle is 40. Okay, you can see 40. So this is what we are supposed to draw it first, but we cannot draw the axis in the beginning. That is why we'll find out what is the base inclination and we'll draw the base. Then finally you'll be getting the axis which is inclined at an angle of 40 degrees. And transfer the points. We have this as A dash and this will be A1 dash, E dash, B dash, and this will be E1 dash and B1 dash. This will be O dash in bracket, and this will be O1 dash, and this is your D dash and C dash, and this will be your D1 dash and C1 dash. The same points, you just transfer it. Okay. Now we are done with the second condition, front view. Okay. First condition you are kept like this. Okay, the top view we are drawn, the front view was like this. In the second condition, the axis is inclined at an angle of 45, which we have drawn like this. At this condition, now you'll be standing here. The observer will be standing here and he's trying to draw the top view. I'll rotate in the top view and show. First it was like this. Now you rotate like this. Okay, if you rotate like this, and when you project a light from the top, what is the shadow you get it down? So here, what is the shadow you get? Okay, you can observe this. First condition was like this. Second condition, when I incline like this, now you project a light from the top, you can see one of the pentagon. Okay, you can see this pentagon and you can see these two surfaces, longer surfaces. There is longer end, you can see. Okay, that is what I'll be drawing it here. Okay, I'll be drawing it here. Now, don't extend all the lines. First, you start from the top view, project these lines first. You start drawing the parallel lines from all the 5 corners. Draw a thin line. See, this line should be parallel. Draw it very carefully. These lines which you are drawing should be parallel. From all the 5 corners, from A, B, C, D, and E, you'll be drawing a parallel line. Be careful while drawing a parallel lines. If the lines are not parallel, the object won't be exactly like a pentagon. So you're supposed to draw a parallel lines. Now it's done. After drawing the parallel lines from the first condition top view, now the observer will be looking from the top. This is your front view. Now I'll be drawing the top view of this condition after inclining at an angle of 40 degrees. So now what I'll do is, you'll be considering the top. This is the base. Forget about the base. Consider top and project the top lines. I'll start from the point number A dash. Okay, this is my point number A dash. From the point number A dash, I'll project a line downwards until it meets the point A. See, it meets the point A here. Okay, don't extend till the down. So it stops here. The A point A dash is coming from here, and A is coming from here. This will be a point A. Similarly, the second edge, okay, second corners or the edge, you start dropping the line. Okay, so this is nothing but E and B. We have 2 points here, E and B. The point E is coming from here, and the point E dash is coming from here. This will be your E. Similarly, the B is coming from here, the point B is coming from here, so this will be a point B. After that, next you go with the axis. Point axis is here, so drop the axis also. You will be getting the axis here. This is your O. And finally, the last edge, you'll be dropping it down. That is D and C. So this will be a point C. See, the point C is coming from here, and the point C is coming from here. This will be your C. Again, D is coming from here, and the D is coming from here. This will be a point D. Okay. After that, join it. You join A, B, C, D, E. Join all the 5 corners. Okay, after joining that, you see that these are extra lines. Please erase these extra lines. Okay. Fine. See, what I've drawn is, the first condition was like this. Second condition, okay, I have inclined it like this at an angle of 40 degrees. The axis got inclined at an angle of 40 degrees. At this condition, whatever you are able to see, that is what I'm trying to draw it here. The top view. Okay, when you incline like this, when you project a light from the top, can you see this pentagon? The top pentagon, can you see? The top pentagon is A, B, C, D, E, which we are drawn. And after that, what you can see in the top view, this longer edge and this longer edge you can see. So that is what we'll try to draw it here. And below, whatever this edge, okay, if you keep like this, these 3 edges is not visible for the observer, that we'll draw it as hidden lines. Fine, I'll show you that also. Now you go with the base. This is the base. Now we'll incline the base with the base. Similarly, start extending from the point A. Point A dash is coming from the top, and it is meeting the point A1 at the bottom. Okay, this is your point A1, and similarly E and B. Extend it. Okay, so this is your point B1, and this is your point E1, and extend the points O1 also. Don't forget the axis. Extend the axis also. Axis will get coincided here. This will be your O1, and finally the edge on which it is resting, that is D dash, D1 dash, and C1 dash. Extend that. So this will be a point D1, and this will be a point, sorry, this is your C. This is your point C1, and this is your point D1. Fine. Mark these points. And now don't join this. Okay, if you join this, you cannot find the hidden lines. Only this can be joined. Okay, because when a person is looking from the top view, okay, the top side of the pentagon is visible for the observer. Okay, whereas the bottom is not visible for the observer. Now what you will be doing is, after drawing this, see here, how do you find the hidden lines? Here is the place where many people get confused. Listen carefully. So how do you find the hidden lines? After drawing the top, make it this as a thick. Now what you do is the extreme ends, that is B, B1, A1, E1 and C1, darken that, because when you incline it like this, first of all condition was like this, second condition when you incline like this, the outside portion is visible for the observer. Yes or no? See, this portion, and this portion is visible for the observer. That is why what I'll do is I'll join the outside, the extreme ends points, that is B to B1 and B1 to A1, A1 to E1 and E1 to E. See, the outside portion is visible for the observer. And one more portion which is visible for the observer is this edge. This edge, okay, and this edge also is visible for the observer. This pentagon we have already drawn, okay, and A to A1 is also visible for the observer. Then you can ask, which is the hidden lines? See, now whatever the lines which you will be drawing, okay, so for example, we have joined B to B1, A to A1, E to E1. Now I'll start joining the longer edge, that is C to C1 and D to D1. When I start joining from the point C to C1, listen here carefully. See, it will cut this edge and it is passing through the inside of this pentagon. You can see when I start joining from this point to this point, it will pass inside this. That is why I am drawing this. When I draw this pentagon first, then only you can find out the hidden lines. Then from this point to this point, that is C to C1, the longer edge, when I try to join it, it will cut this one of the base top edge and then it will become dotted. Come back to the D, the longer edge D to D1. So when I start joining from D to D1, again this will pass inside this pentagon and it will cut one of the edge. That is why it will become what? Hidden or dotted. So we are done. What about the base pentagon? What was the base pentagon? Here also you can see we are supposed to join from the B to C, C to D and D to E. So again this also will be hidden because it won't be visible for the observer from the top view. Since the point C1 and D1 and O1 is inside this, so when you're looking from the top, this portion is inside. Even this portion is inside and this portion is inside. These three will be in bracket. What about the axis? Here, what will happen to the axis? Here from this point to this point, axis won't be visible. But from this point to this point, we can show the axis. That also you're supposed to show. Okay, what will happen? Again, from the point A to O, axis is visible for the observer. It should be a thin and chain line. Don't forget to show this also. And this is how the top view looks. I'll show with this object. Okay, the first condition was like this. Second condition, you inclined it like this. Okay, now in this condition, then when you're looking from the top, see when you're looking like this pentagon is visible. So you incline an angle of 40 degrees. Okay, first it was like this, you incline an angle of 40 degrees. So what will happen? This pentagon is visible for the observer in the top view. Have you drawn this? Okay, then these three longer edges are visible. 1, 2, 3 longer edges visible. Yes. And what about the base two edges are visible? Yes, these base two edges are visible. And remaining whatever the points which are there, you cannot see. Okay, that is nothing but this bottom portion, entire bottom portion you cannot see. That is why these are hidden. Okay, there is another method to find out the hidden lines. You can make a note of it. So what will happen here? You can see this D1 and C1. What happened? It was kept on one of the edge and you incline like this in the front view. It is resting on this edge. Which is that edge? D and C. Okay. Whichever the point is near to the XY line. See here, you can see this point D and C is near to the XY line. Whichever the point is near to the XY line, three lines, okay, three lines passing from that point will be dotted. Here, which is the point which is near to the XY line? D and C. D and C. Okay, take example of D. From the point D, 1, 2, 3. These three lines are dotted. Again, which is another point here? C. From the point C, 1, 2, 3. These three lines will be dotted. Like this also you can find out. Okay, three lines will be hidden. So that's another method to find out the hidden lines. If you don't know to find out the hidden lines from looking from the top view. Okay, you're clear? Are you clear up to this point? Now, the third condition is very important. Okay, I told you this is an apparent inclination problem. So first condition is over. You kept it with respect to the edge. The second condition, you inclined the prism at an angle of 40 degrees with respect to your axis. The same third condition, what he has told us, again the same axis. The axis is inclined at an angle of 30 degrees. It will be the first condition axis only. Okay, now you're supposed to find out the beta angle. How do you find out? So what he has told, the first condition axis, what is the length of the first condition axis? This is the 60. This is your first axis length. The first axis length is 60. Okay, the first condition is over. Coming to the second condition. The second condition, top view, where can you find out the axis? Where can you see the axis length? This, you cannot take this length. Okay, you are supposed to take this length here. Okay, this is your axis length. The first axis which we had given you was 60. Okay, the first axis length which we had given you was 60. After that, you inclined at an angle of 40 degrees. After you inclined at an angle of 40 degrees, now the second axis length got shortened. Here it was 60. After you inclined, this axis here, so you can see this axis, I have dropped the axis from the top view. The axis length got shortened, and mark this as a second axis. This is your second axis. Okay, the first axis length was 60. Now the second axis length, whatever the length is there, you just measure it. It is 4.5. The first condition, the axis length was 60. After you inclined an angle of 40 degrees, the axis length got shortened by how much? 4.5 length. Okay, now we will be drawing the third condition. In the third condition, what he has told us, the axis is inclined to VP at an angle of 30 degrees. Now, so what I'll do is I'll take the 30 degrees from here. So 30 degrees, keep the protractor here. So it will be easy for us to draw. Fine. Draw the 30 degrees down. See, it remains the same. See, here it is 30 degrees, here also it will be 30 degrees only. Okay, when you extend it back, you touch the x1, y1 line. Okay, you need not bother. The condition is 30 degrees with respect to your xy line. So now, what I'll be doing is, the first axis, what is the first axis length which he has given you? The first axis length is given you 60. Okay, take that from any one particular point, okay, cut an arc. Okay, from any one particular point, cut an arc of how much? 60. And as soon as you cut an arc, see here, the first axis, let this be point O, and this will be your point O1. I'm repeating that the first axis length 60 I have taken from any one particular point on the 30-degree line. I have cut an arc. After that, what I'll be doing is I'll draw the locus. So you have solved locus problem in your planes. It is similar to this. Okay, it is similar to that. After that, at the point O1, I'm drawing the locus. Fine. So now I'll be taking the second axis length. Where you can find the second axis length? You can see in the top view. Measure the second axis length, that is O to O1. Measure from O to O1. This is your second axis length. Fine. O is fixed. O1, you have to cut on the locus. I will repeat that. First, you'll be drawing an angle of 30 degrees. You'll take the first axis length, that is your 60. Okay. From any one particular point, you'll cut an arc, you'll get it here. After that, you'll be drawing a line, that is locus of O. Okay, that is done. Then you'll be measuring the second axis length. Where is your second axis? This is your second axis length. From the same point O, you'll be cutting an arc until it meets the locus of O. Fine. This is how you are doing your locus problems in your plane. Then what you will be doing is, from this point, okay, you will be joining it. This is your point O1, which is in bracket. This point. Okay, this point you will get it here. So then join from O1 to O and extending it back. Now you find the apparent inclination, that is your beta angle. The apparent inclination, will be getting it as 45. You will be getting it as 45. Hang on. Exactly. I'll tell you what is the angle you will be getting it. Yeah, I am getting it as this as 40, 41, 42. I'm getting it as 42. So whatever the angle you get, just mark that. Okay, you need not worry. The beta angle, what I have got it as 42 degrees. You found out the beta angle. So okay, this is your 42 degrees. Now, okay, so now what will happen? This object, okay, this object, whichever you are drawn, okay, this now it should get inclined at an angle of 45. The same object you are rotating at an angle of 45. That is the condition. What is the condition? The first condition, the first axis got inclined at 40. Okay. Second condition is, okay, that means third condition is the axis is inclined at an angle of 30 degrees. We took the first axis, we made it inclined at an angle of 30 degrees, but we won't be placing this object. We'll be placing this object. When I take this object and I replace it, this axis got shortened. That is why you'll be getting the point on the locus of O. So when you're placing this, when you're rotating like this, keeping O here, so you will get the point O1 on the locus of O. Okay, now you know how to find out the beta angle, that which you have got 45. This is nothing but, this point O is nothing but this one, and this O1 is nothing but this one. Fine. Now what you're supposed to do? It's very simple. This object you're supposed to draw it here. How do you draw it here? So you draw it by arc method. Okay, I'll show you. We'll be drawing it by arc method. First, this pentagon I'll draw. I'll draw this first pentagon here. Okay, keeping this as O. Okay, concentrate here. I'll take from O. I'll take the length from O to B. I'll take the length from O to B. Listen here, O to B and O to E, both the lengths are same. O, okay. O to B, I'll cut an arc, and O to E, I'll cut an arc. I've taken from O to B and O to E. Fine. So after that, listen carefully. I'll be taking the length from O1 to B. Okay, O1 to B and O1 to E. This is my O1, O1 to B and O1 to E. What is this point? This point is B. As soon as you cut the arc, you mark it, and this point is your E. I'm repeating it. First, you take the measurement from O to B. Okay, O to B, you cut an arc, and O to E, you cut an arc. After that, you're taking the length from O1 to B, okay, and O1 to E, O1 to B, and O1 to E. You got these 2 points, and the remaining points will transfer it. Okay, so that is, see, one more thing. At the point A easily can be transferred. Measure from O to A. Measure from O to A. Okay, measure from O to A. So this O to A. As soon as you cut the arc, please mark the point, otherwise you'll forget it. Which point is that? This is your point. Fine. Then it is the remaining points D and C. It's easy. You can take any method. So what I will do is I'll take from A to D. I'll measure. Okay, I'll measure from A to D. From the point A to D, I'll cut an arc. Again, A to C. This is A to C. I'll cut an arc. And after that, I'll take from the point E to D, E to D, and B to C, B to C. Okay, and finally join it. You'll get the pentagon. start joining the points which you have cut. That's all. So I will repeat that this pentagon has to come here. Okay, using the arc methods, you already know the point O, and you'll be knowing the point A also. Okay, you'll be knowing the point A also. You know O and you know the point A. Using the arc method, you just draw the pentagon, which you have done in your planes. And that's all. The remaining solid you not draw. Now what we can do is I'll just draw a parallel lines. If you have a rolling scale, it will be very well. Okay, it will be very good to draw and it will be very easy. Now keep your scale on the 42 degree line, that is bit angle line. Okay, so someone has raised the hand. What you do is keep your scale on the 42 degree line and you will be drawing just a parallel lines. If you have a rolling scale, what will happen? The rolling scale starts rolling like this. After keeping like this, you can roll it down. You can draw the parallel lines. Now we don't have a rolling scale. Now what I'll do is keep your scale on the 42 degree line and draw parallel lines above and below. So it will be like this. So you just have to draw a parallel line to the 42 degree line from the point D, again from the point E. Again, similarly, again keep your scale on the 42 degree line, move it above. From the point C, you'll be drawing a parallel line. Again, from the point B, you'll be drawing a parallel line. Understood? Okay, that's it. Remember, it is for 42 degree line. Don't draw it for 30 degree line. Okay, so we have found the 42 beta angle. For the 42 degree line, you'll be drawing a parallel line. So you should be a parallel line. Please draw a parallel line. Otherwise, the object, you won't be getting the prism properly. That's it. Now you measure any one of the longer ends. That is A to A1 you measure. Okay, A to A1, B to B1, C to C1, D to D1, E to E1, O to O1. All the lengths are same. That's it. Now A to A1, B to B1, C to C1, D to D1, and E to E1. Again, similarly, O to O1 we already have. That's all. So this is your point A1, and here you have B1, and you have C1, and this point is your D1, and this point is your E1. Join it. See, this sketch you are drawing it here. There'll be no changes in the hidden lines. The only thing is this object you are rotated. Okay, the hidden lines, the points, everything will remain same. The only thing is you're inclined at an angle of 42. Okay, the hidden lines or the line points which are in bracket, everything remains same. Nothing going to change. Here, that's why the C1 will be in bracket here and D1 will be in bracket. Okay, now join all the points and finish the pentagon. See, sometimes what will happen, this one, the 30 degree line, you will get confused. Okay, if you want, you can erase it now. Okay, in the exam, you can keep it as it is. Okay, if you get confused with the 30 degree line, you can erase that. Only the 42 degree line, you can keep it and complete the sketch. Now this will be dotted. See, the second top view only, I'm just redrawing it here at an angle of 45, 42 beta angle. That's all. There'll be no changes in the hidden lines. Okay, everything remains the same. This object got inclined at an angle of 42. It is done. I think this view you can draw it. Okay, I'll finish this soon. So please erase the extra lines. In the exam also, you should not have a single extra lines here. Okay, the extra lines should be erased. Okay, erase the extra lines now. Okay, we'll finish it off. Now, the previous problem I showed you. So what will happen? I'll extend the base first. Extend the base lines. Okay, we'll complete the front view. So extend the base length. Okay, so these lines from all the three corners you'll be getting it. Even the O you extend it. Please draw parallel lines. See from the base point A B and O and D. Okay, D already we have that X1 and Y1 line. So from these points, we just extend the line. Now, base length, don't extend the top. Follow this procedure for the entire solids. Now, the base I'll incline with the base. Go with the point number A1. Okay, extend A1 and stop wherever it coincides. See here, A1 dash is coming from here, A1 is coming from the bottom. Okay, so this is your A1 dash. So A1 is coming from here, A1 dash is coming from here, stop there. Okay, erase the extra line. Go with the point B. Okay, so B dash or the B1 are coinciding with the B. So this is your B1 dash. Please mark the point as soon as you join it. Don't extend all the lines. Okay, or mark it, otherwise you'll forget. So then again the point C. Okay, you extend the point C, so it is coinciding with the XY line. Here you get the C1 dash, correct? Then go with the D. So go with the D point of the base. So again, it will be at the base only. So this is your point D1 dash and E of the base. See, only concentrate on the base. Forget about the top. The top, again with the top will coincide. Okay. D is finished. E. The point E, I'll extend it until it reaches the point E1 dash. Okay, and don't forget the axis also. We need axis. Okay, the axis point also you should get coincided, so it will touch here. O1 dash. You got it? See here, A. First I started with the A and A, B, B, C, C. Stop wherever it coincides, and now you join this. Now you join this. We'll start joining it. A to B, B to C, C to D, D to E, and E to A. That's it. We are done with this base. We are concentrated the base with the base. Now we'll start with the top, okay, and the top. Okay, these two will coincide. Fine. Now extend this line. Extend the line to the top. For all the solid problems, the same procedure you're supposed to follow. Okay, then only easily you can find out the hidden lines. Again, you'll get 4 lines here. Okay, draw a parallel line. Be very careful when you're drawing a parallel line. Okay, these lines should be parallel, all the 4 parallel lines. Again, I'll start from the point A. Start extending the point A until it reaches A. So this will be a point A dash. And this is an extra line, erase it. Again, from the point B, extend it until it meets the point B of the top. See, this is the point B dash. Again, go with the C. This is your C dash. And D. This is a point D. D to, where is D dash? Yeah, this is a point D dash. C is done. And E. So point by point, you just draw it. Otherwise, you'll miss any one of the points. So from E to E. E dash. And what about the axis? Don't forget to draw the axis also. Extend the axis also. Yeah, here we'll get the axis, that is O dash. That's it. Now, don't join this. Many will join off this. So you can, what will happen? The object, the first, it was like this. Okay. Second, you incline it to an angle of 40 degrees. Third, the object will be like this. This is your third view. Front view, I'm showing it. Where, can you see this hexagon? Have I drawn this hexagon? Okay, and these two edges, the longer edges, can you see? So then you'll be able to see the here also. How to draw that? Okay, I'm repeating this. First, you have to complete the base. Okay, then only you have to go with the top. Don't join the top. Now you'll be joining the longer edges. I'll start with the point B to B. You can see here, for me, the point B A dash, B dash, A1 dash B1 dash is getting coincided. If when a small degree angle, if there's a small change in the angle here, this view will get changed. For me, it is getting coincided. So there's no problem. I'll join it. It is going outside. Fine. E1 dash to E dash. You're joining the longer edges. E1 dash to E dash. Okay. D1 dash to D dash. Fine. See, the outside, when you're joining the longer edges, it should not coincide with any one of the edge. Then it will be thick. Now I'll start joining C to C dash. There is my point C dash. C dash is here. The point C dash is here. Okay, again, this point C dash and E1 dash is getting coincided. Okay, now this will become dotted. Okay, and the remaining portion is getting coincided. Get done with that. Then go with the top. What will happen to the top? A outside surface. Whatever the outside surface is there, that will be thick. A to E, A to D. Now you start joining from D to C. So when you start joining from D to C, see it is passing inside. What will happen to that? It will become hidden. What about C to B? That will also be hidden. And have we forgot the axis? We have forgot the axis. The axis also should be drawn, and it should be a thin and chain line. And here, which will be in bracket, there will be 2 points which will be in bracket, that is O1 dash and C1, C dash and O dash will be bracket. See, if there is a change in the angle here, if you get 45 or 46, okay, this view also will get changed, but the procedure remains same. Okay, so this is how you're supposed to draw. I'll repeat this. Okay, I'll brief it. First, he told to keep the pentagon on HP with one of the edge. The top view, you can see only the pentagon which we had drawn. Okay, that time the front view, this was a top view, this will be a front view, 3 edges you can see which we have drawn it here. Then he has told to incline this at an angle of how much? 40 degrees. So then this object you are inclined at an angle of 45 degrees. The front view will never change, only the inclination. This object you incline at an angle of 40 degrees. After inclining at an angle of 40 degrees, so it was like this. After inclining at an angle of 40 degrees, when you put the light from the top or the projection from the top, what you can see this pentagon which you have drawn, and these two surfaces you can see which we have drawn, and the remaining inside portions will be hidden because in the top view you cannot see that. And after that, then what is told, your axis is inclined, so then you'll be finding out the beta angle here. Okay, then you incline this object only, you inclined at an angle of 42 degrees. 42 degrees. Okay, the same object you incline at an angle of 40 degrees. After inclining this, you have drawn the sketch. In the top view, I'll show you. First condition, second, front view, front view, it was like this. You incline it like this. Third, it will be like this. This is your final answer, which we have drawn it here. Can you see this hexagon? Okay, you have seen this hexagon, and here you can see the two surfaces here, two surfaces, this and this, and this is your final answer. You understood this? So there is another assignment problem which I'll be giving you. Please try to do that. So you know that in the last class we did this problem. We had done this problem in the last class, correct? So the similar to this only, I'll be giving you a homework. It is just similar to this. Okay. Here the problem is like this: the square prism side is 35. The prism side is 35. Okay, and the base length, okay, and the side is 70, and the height is 60. Okay, in the last class I have taken it as how much 65, but in this problem you take it as 60. Okay, after that it is resting on HP with one of the edge, same. Okay, the first condition remains same. Draw the projections of the prism when the axis is inclined. The axis is inclined to HP at an angle of 45. Again, the second condition remains the same. And the third condition, again, the axis is inclined. Whenever you come across this word, axis is inclined, that means it is an apparent inclination problem. Okay, the third condition, what he has told us, again, third condition, the axis is inclined to VP at an angle of 30 degrees. The first two conditions remain same. The third condition, I'll give you a hint. Okay, just now we have solved. We'll take the first axis length, that is 60. From any one particular point, you'll draw an angle of 30 degrees. That is the third condition which is given. This length you'll take from one particular point, you'll cut an arc and you'll draw the locus. Where is you get the second axis length? This is the second axis length. You measure the second axis length from this particular point. You'll cut an arc on the locus, join it. You'll be getting the beta angle. Understanding these two conditions are same. Only the third condition will change where the axis is inclined. The previous problem was edge inclination. In this problem, I given you the axis is inclined. Okay. Now this axis will get inclined. The beta angle you will be getting it as 45. This object you'll be placing it here. You'll get like this. Fine, you'll be getting like this. Then you project it and complete this sketch.